Good evening and welcome to round 3 of season 18. I was about to say 17 out of habit. At the Red Bull Ring in Austria. My name is VNT Felix Born. I'll be taking you through tonight's action. I'm joined by PC Woody once again. Welcome.
Good evening.
We are in for another good race. We've got a wet qualifying here around Red Bull Ring. I'm not sure what the weather report for the race yet. Did someone put it in the chat? Race is all
Dry.
dry, says Gary. Boring. Sorry. We're gonna have a bit of that all race, I think. Both of us are still a bit sick.
Yeah, but it should work.
We'll try our best to. I think you'll hear me shouting a bit less than usual, and I'll have to make sure that my voice doesn't go completely. That's why I skipped out on Division 3 as well yesterday, since that was well covered. Had 3 continents anyway, so there was really no benefit. Oh, as Aussie has a disconnect immediately. My audio is ridiculously quiet. No, it's on the normal settings. So, first driver that's gone out for a lap here is from the Mercedes, and that is Bazooka, who's coming towards the final couple of corners already. And based on the weather we're seeing right now, I'm pretty sure it will stay intermediate conditions for the entirety of qualifying. Doesn't look like there's any dry period coming in. Oh, always has sent me a weather report. Perfect. And yeah, that is confirmed. All dry for the entire race and all light rain for the entire qualifying.
So the last few laps will be the fastest again.
Yeah, probably. The track evolution in these wet sessions is, yeah, very big. Especially early on, you get a dry line start to form, and that improves the time by several seconds, and after that you find a couple more tenths of track evolution. But yeah, these like first laps for everyone are going to be quite a bit slower than the second and third runs, as they are now starting to form a dry line. So really, these early laps are just more of an indication of where people might be, and I don't think a single one of those will stand towards the intersession, really. At least not if you want to be anywhere near the front.
Also, probably everyone dry setup, at least dry wings.
I'd imagine, yeah, the race is entirely dry. You'd probably, especially a track like Austria, where the qualifying is not the most important, you can make overtakes happen quite easily, so you don't have to worry about having a place or two less in the qualifying. And the first lap on the board, a 15.1 by Bombardino. By Bazooka, sorry. Bombardino now with a 13.8 over the line. I was one step ahead already.
Up to fastest.
Next over the line is Akusin, who goes into P4. I see a McLaren down towards the line with staff as invalidated, and the other one is Maxi, who's also invalidated. Picks over the line a 14.4. I believe the next one over the line then is Gabri. Gets a little bit loose there, coming out to the double left at the end of Sector 2. 2 corners to go, 5th gear for the second to last corner. The car not rotating much at all. And for Gabri, that is going to be a 1:14.552. That's only 4th position. Thought Gabri would be much further up the field than that. Kuko, 14.0. That's 3rd position for the moment. He drives out the line, Bombardino on a slow lap, and then Bazooka just starting another lap now. Then Lanky Brown.
Next.
Yep. But he's got all the EAs in the world, so I think he's also starting a lap right now, and maybe had a bad round this one.
Sean is invalidated.
Oh no, looks like an actual lap, 14.7, so he just didn't have much EAS usage on the lap. Maxi's coming out to the final 2 corners on a
Same
push
as
lap.
Sully. Passed in sector 2. And goes second.
Pubdog then staying on the pole position for the moment. Important information actually, Pubdog. He won the race in Las Vegas on the day, on track, but he got a post-race penalty for an incident where he cut across the pit entry line and that caused a collision with Sean. And for that he was given a 5-second penalty and actually handed the win to Viral in the end. Viral with his first ever Division 2 win. And Viral now as well, second in the championship. 25 points, 10 points behind Gabri. Unfortunately, Viral not racing tonight, so Gabri's lead in the standings likely to increase. Although at the moment, with him being down in 8th, there might be some other challenges forming. Of course, we have a bit of an idea who might be in the fight, but if you look at the top 3, I mean, Gabri is the one you expect to see there, but the rest in the standings, it's Viral in second and Bazooka in third, which are not the names.
Goes third.
Yep, and the track is definitely improving. You can see a dry line starting to come in. Feels a bit mean to say that in response to you saying Lanky is in the front.
Well, it's honestly, I'm happy about it. To see the drivers who are mostly at the back sometimes just at the front now, in those conditions.
Yeah, it's going to be changing up a whole lot throughout the session. Pubdog's time actually, from very early on in the session, I'm surprised it's still all the way in P1. I would have thought with the dry line coming in that this would be easily beatable now. We've got Staff over the line with a 14.3. It's only 8th position. Staff and Sony racing as reserves for tonight. Staff replacing Viral in the McLaren as Kuko goes top. And Sony replacing Mihai in the V Cup. Lanky Brown up by a 10th and a bit in the middle sector. Comes down towards the final corner. Currently in 4th position, that could put him into the top 2. And it doesn't. He splits Sully and Pubdog, goes a 3rd fastest for the moment.
Sean is white and green sector. Then Maxi is green. The track is improving fast. And Sean goes
6 times slower than he did beforehand.
lower.
Sully over the line, but he's just starting a new lap here. Bobodino is on a push lap in the middle of the track still. Maxi over the line, and he's gonna go into 2nd position. 13.592. 3.5 tenths exactly separating him from Kuko though, who's on current original pole position. We've got Always coming to the last corners now as well. Always showed great pace yesterday in Division 3, got pole position with a 103.8, which is a remarkable lap time really. Over half a second clear of 2nd place he was. And I think it's very likely that he would have won the race as well if he hadn't gotten that drive-through penalty under the virtual safety car. So he had a bit of a... well, I wouldn't even say he had a terrible race because his pace was amazing, but still, he threw it away, unfortunately. So hopefully for him, there can be some redemption today, but it certainly is an indication that he's going to be a driver to watch out for if he has the pace to dominate the qualifying in Division 3 like that, and also, well, he didn't dominate the race, but he certainly was in control of the race. Ended up being...
Still 10th down.
Aussie now back in the lobby. We are also still waiting for Phantom, who hopefully is going to make a JM as well, but he hasn't been... I haven't heard from him. Yeah, Aussie was having connection issues. I'm gonna try one more time to get Phantom into the lobby, see if he's online by now. No.
Papi improves only to 8. Uh-oh.
Bazooka over the line, but he is not improving on this one. Apart
But
from
Lanky
starting a new
is
lap. Lanky goes second fastest. Lanky looking very quick right now. And this time it's not about track conditions at all. He had very slow track conditions to the people around him.
6. Over is in Bobodino green, Bazooka green. Echoes is white, so slower.
A positive surprise in this qualifying so far is Kuko. Normally he struggles quite a bit in these wet conditions, as Phantom is now in the lobby 7 minutes ago. And he does relish in these wet races, as we know, but, well, the race isn't wet.
Bobodino fast in sector 2 by a tenth.
It's fairly close in that midfield, so Bobodino could definitely move up a few places here. With this lap.
Oh, it's good 6.
And Bobodino over the line, that's going to be a 1:13.026. Skips that entire midfield and goes straight to provisional pole position. Slanky's back in the pit lane, we're getting a fresh tyre for the end of the qualifying session. Same for Sean. Pig's having an off here through the gravel, letting one of the Saubers pass, and it's Aussie who's about to start a lap. Akusin then the next one on a hot lap over the line. Currently in 13th place, only 15.3, almost a full second back from Pig, so he needs a big improvement here. 2.5 tenths gain in that middle sector so far. Next up is Staff, who's slightly down in the middle sector, so unlikely to see an improvement there. Currently in 11th, after his podium in Silverstone, as Akusin invalidates in the final corner. Staff would surely also have been hoping for a little more than what he's showing right now, down in P11. Both him and Gabri, Sean as well down in 8th. Few drivers who are definitely in need of big improvements. The Staff does improve by 1.5 tenths, but stays in P11. Always over the line, but no improvement on this lap. Pubdog with a purple middle sector, but the delta is up by 3 tenths as well. So we're looking at P3 after middle sector. And maybe he can find even more in the final sector. And yes, he can. Half a second gain in the end. And that is second position, less than a tenth behind Bobodino, who's still on provisional pole.
Fastest last sector, by the way. So fastest sector 1 is Cuckoo, sector 2 is Bobodino, last sector is Pubdog.
So the top 3 locked in a close battle there, shown by the second times as well. And Aussie over the line. He's gonna go into 7th place.
Staff invalidates again.
I'm trying to look for someone on the hot lap, but I don't think there's anyone. There isn't a single driver pushing at the moment.
Maxi is starting one now.
Right, finally. Thank you. There's a bit of traffic there coming out the pit lane. The Aston Martin of, well, it must be Bobodino, no other Aston Martin in this race. Lets him through nicely. And then he has the Williams of, I believe that could be, well, Akusin's in the pit, so that must be Always. And Maxi down by 42 thousandths in the first sector, but apparently still purple, which is quite something.
Not true.
Getting a nice toe from Always now. But that will turn into a problem as he comes into the corner. And Always is still there. And that is Maxi's lap firmly ruined.
Yep. Oh, the question is... Well, it's probably a report worth.
Yeah, well, yeah, Always got out the way now, but that's, yeah, unfortunately too late.
Gabi's up next. Cuckoo is fastest in sector 1.
Gabi needs a big improvement. Down in P11, our championship leader. He can't really afford to start this far down, make his life that difficult. And in the middle there, he's up by half a second, and that could put him already, well, ahead of Aussie. So still a bit more time to fight in that final sector, but he's
at the moment
on a good one.
P3, P4.
And that looks like a good final sector as well so far, and a really good final corner. And for Gabri, that could be someone in the front. And it is.
Oh,
Sixth position. It's not horrible, but for Gabri standards, especially in the qualifying,
It's
Gabri...
slow.
Yeah, that is not great.
Easy.
Phantom now on his one and
Sean
maybe
goes
only
fourth.
lap of the session as well. Yep, and Sean improving a whole lot more. Bombolino slightly down in the first sector. Lanky Brown slightly up, and after middle sector he is down by 2 seconds, so he's abandoned this lap and he's got a Mercedes of Bazooka behind him on an out lap. I think Phantom is the next one on a hot lap then. Currently in 15th, and I think he has time for one more after this if he does a cooldown lap, yeah. Which I imagine he will have to do to recharge from EIS. Then he can have one more lap right into death. And Phantom with a 51.0 middle sector. We know he's very fast in the rain. He also has that new Sauber livery already on the car. Which I must say is a massive improvement over the regular one.
With a few sponsors, but not more.
Well, and over the line for Phantom, that is going to be P12. A full second behind Bombolino. But he has one more chance. I think he's going to go for it right now, actually. Not even going to do the cooldown lap. Sean over the line, but he's going to start one more lap. He's not finishing one. Then Aussie
next on lap.
starting one. Stafford, next one. No one else on the lap ahead of him.
Well, the rest was just started, so...
I think Bobodinho, no? No, he's on a slow lap. Okay. It's down for the big snap there. And he's abandoned the lap as well. So we go on board with the next one, which is Phantom again. Who's abandoned as well.
He stays in the pits. He's happy with being in the midfield.
I imagine he's not happy, but maybe he just doesn't have tires left or something. Lanky now starting one more lap, his teammate up in 5th. The first time in a while I've seen Gabriel lose to his teammate in qualifying.
In a long time.
So the next one over the line is Pix. And he's still just coming to the one, so all of these guys wait until the last possible moment to have the best possible track for their laps. Kuko's still out, yeah, Gabriel the only one in the pits, everybody else out on track right now. And for Pix, we have got a slight gap to his previous best. Akusen as well, at just two slightly up on his previous best. So Pix through the last couple of corners. Currently 14th, Akusen behind him in 15th, the two who are last on the leaderboard, first cross the line on these last runs. And for Pix, that is P14, Akusen will stay P15 as he hasn't validated. Up next, Lanky, slightly down in the middle sector. Bombolino slightly down as well. Pupdog has invalidated. Bazooka. Back to the pit lane, it looks like. Up next then is Staff. Is he improving?
Phantom.
I can't see a delta unfortunately, so we'll have to stay on board with him for a moment and see what happens. P13 for Staff. And that is no improvement indeed. Phantom over the line. And he goes... Oh, well, improves, but stays where he was. Always doesn't improve. Up next, Pupdog invalidated. Then Maxing, he is down in this time. To Ferrari, Sean and Kuko close together. Kuko, I can't see his delta. Sean was slightly down in the middle sector. They're currently third and fourth. Could they steal the top row away from Bombolino and Pupdog? Sean can't, and Kuko also can't. The last one still going. Sully does go to second place with a massive improvement in that final sector, and now we've got Aussie, the last one over the line, and he jumps into P7. And the pole position stays where it was for most of the session. A lot of people on that final run crumbling under pressure, it looked like, of the track when it was at its best. And that gap at the front, literally 1,000 of a second between Bombolino, who's on pole position ahead of Sully. Then Papdog in third, with Kuko in fourth, and Sean in fifth, two Ferraris right next to each other. Then Lanky and Haas in sixth, with Ossie in seventh, Gabri down in eighth, Maxi in ninth, and Owais around to the top 10, followed by Bazooka. Then Phantom in 12th, with Staff right behind him. Those two, which are from them, they should be trying to fight for the field from 12th and 13th. Pix in 14th, and Akuzin rounds on the grid in P15.
I have China flashbacks with that gap.
Was China also that close in qualifying? I can't remember.
It was about, well, it was 1,000 between me and Gabi.
I quote Gabri in the Discord chat, I'm retiring. He's clearly in a great mood after that qualifying.
But I'm surprised, like, I did not expect this.
What, Gabri to be so shit?
To be down 8.
Yeah, it's unusual. Gabri is usually such a strong qualifier.
Well, Phantom, he
and it's not like he just like bottled the last lap so and that cost him. No, he was just nowhere the entire session.
Do I set up? Only focus on the West.
Maybe, but did people really go for wet setups? That'd be quite silly. I mean, it's a
well,
such a long race.
You can go the wet setup and just do the dry wings and try to drive it.
I wouldn't recommend that.
It's possible.
I think the best thing by far to do in this scenario was to just go for the dry setup and suffer through the qualifying, because the qualifying position, I mean, is really not that important around here. Like, nothing is lost for Gabri, for Phantom, for Staff, who are down at the back of the field. Of course, it makes their life a bit harder. They have to avoid some of that midfield chaos, maybe, and they have to make sure they stay with the lead DRS train. And that can be as well, especially if you're in the back, you have to get lucky. The guys ahead of you don't do something silly and then cause you to drop out. But it certainly isn't an immediate disqualification in terms of the fight for the race win to start in the back of the grid, especially at a track like Austria, but even any track, maybe bar like Monaco.
That was the question. 1 stop, 2 stop.
Yeah, the strategy options around here are quite interesting. The 1 and 2 stop are fairly close together. I think in Division 2 we'll definitely see more 2 stops. In Division 3 we saw them as well. But the intermediate ended up being about 12 laps, which actually checks out for a 2 stop anyway, for a regular one. So I do think we'll be seeing mostly, well, everyone's on mediums right now, medium hard or medium hard. But there's gonna be some guys for sure who try and go for the 1 stop. Owais, for example, is one of them. We know he has a great tire wear, so I imagine we'll see a 1 stop from him, and we'll see who else can manage it. Because I remember the Austria reverse race in the Mystery Grand Prix last season, where Bombolino got a puncture in the end. Well, now he's in pole position, and he's hopefully learned from that mistake to either focus a bit more on tire saving or just go for the 2 stop. We shall see. And here we are then, ready for the race start. The 5 red lights are coming on, and it's lights out, and away we go. Here in Austria at the Red Bull Ring. That's a good start from Bombolino down towards turn 1. He is safe as Ossie goes on the grass to try and make some moves happen to turn 1, but that's not going to work out. Lanky with a great start, but Kuko goes off the track there. Ossie all out of shape as well. And Lanky has jumped both Ferraris off the start. Kuko and Sean down to 5th and 6th. We've got the battle in behind in the midfield. That's Ossie with the McLaren of Maxi. Gabri as well with a move on Sean. Haas immediately making progress early on in the race. At the front though, all remain the same. Bombolino followed by Sully, then Papdog with Lanky already on the attack on Papdog. A great start by Lanky. Didn't have to run down towards turn 4, but maybe on the exit. Nah, has to decide better off that and settle in behind for the moment.
Good start by both Haas.
Oh, and there's a McLaren round, that is Maxi. Maxi making contact with, I think it was a Sauber, but I couldn't tell. Bit much going on in the midfield there, so many cars close together. Gabri goes for the move on Kuko into the last 2 corners. And Maxi has his race turned upside down on the first lap of the race. If we have a look at the position changes, 4 planes gained by Phantom, 6 planes gained by Akuzin. Great start, we have to P9 already. Gabri and Lanky both getting 2, so Haas with a solid start as well to work their way towards the front of the field. The swap for 13th.
is doing everything to get out of the ES. He's already on 5% ES.
But Sully is still there, and now that Bombardino doesn't have any ES left, that means Sully will have a rather easy time trying to stay with him as Gabri and Sean
tries to get Gabri, but doesn't work.
Also a battle for 13 still, Always and Bazooka, but I think Always is now pulling ahead. And yeah, Sully now comfortably staying close to Bombardino, who has to conserve a bit of EAS once more. Lanky though struggling to stay with Papdog, so that could be where the break in the train forms, and that means Lanky will be vulnerable to Kuko behind, and Kuko maybe will be trying to reconnect the trains and stay with that top 3.
Hey, he's out already.
Yep, no DRS for Lanky. And Kuko will see that and smell his chance.
As he goes wide. He's off track.
Under no pressure, just drives in the grass, and Gabri takes, says thank you very much and takes that position, but Kuko sends it back up the inside down towards turn 3. And does pull ahead on Gabri. And here comes Sean as well, taking advantage with the switchback on the exit of turn 3. They bang wheels down the straight. Sully and Bombardino having a battle for the lead as well, which we have to go to because they are still side by side at the exit of turn 3. Sully now pulls ahead, has taken the lead. Sean has gotten past Gabri, but Gabri trying to come back at him down towards the double left-handers. Backs out of it on the outside line. Decides that is simply too risky, and both Ferraris are back ahead of Gabri. Why do all of you have to battle at once? I couldn't decide if I had to stay with Gabri and Sean or go for Sully and Bombardino. And Sully with the fast lap of the race now, of course, immediately trying to build a gap to Bombardino, who's got no battery left whatsoever. And Kuko very close to the back of Lanky. This could be, or this should be the lap really where he makes the overtake on the Haas man and goes up to P4. As Gabri's also looking for a run on Sean. Kuko doesn't have to run on Lanky. Lanky still holds on, but he almost goes into the back of him, coming into turn 3. But now stays close on the exit, and with the DRS enabled, down towards turn 4, surely this time. Lanky doesn't have a defense. But Kuko is barely gaining, even with overtake used. Goes for the inside line, late on the brakes, gets the car stopped to back out of the move, because that would have ended in a massive crash. And it's worth mentioning, Kuko is on 8 penalty points as it stands, so only 2 penalty points away from the race ban. So, I'm sure that was maybe at least on the back of his mind there as he went for that send, and when he decided to, yeah, maybe back out of that one and fight another day. Because if you're on a championship fight, you really don't want to be getting handed race bans. That will make your life a whole lot more difficult. But Lanky definitely holding up this whole train behind him. I mean, he's now almost 3 seconds back from Papdog, Bombardino and Sully. And Kuko is practically pushing it through turn 1, but on the straight. He's losing so much time, and Sean now gets ahead of Kuko, who had a horrible run. He looked like he got stuck in a gear for a moment there.
That's good. Papdog tries to go. No, it doesn't.
Gabri on the outside of Kuko through turn 3. Kuko leaves in the room, but Gabri doesn't have the run he needs. Now though, with the overtake use and lesser wings as well, it looks like, I'm pretty sure Kuko's on quite high wings. Gabri has the outside line to turn 4. They both lock up, and Kuko goes significantly faster in the corner and gets ahead.
Sean tries everything to get past Lanky now outside.
Oh, and that's really aggressive, and Lanky gets spun around, and Kuko's in the back of him. And Kuko has massive damage. Kuko drops out of the points. And that was...
That's a new wing for you.
Yeah, and I would say Kuko can thank Sean for that, because Sean was the one who spun around Lanky. He just didn't leave him any room on the apex of the corner, and Kuko got collected. And now the team order at Haas, it looks like Lanky lets Gabri through immediately.
Sven now tries to get ahead of Lanky with much more ES.
Right, I'm back. Coughing fit is done. Just in time for Phantom to overtake Gabri, looks like. Or maybe not. Or maybe yes.
Maybe in both halves.
And is he gonna get his old teammate Lanky as well? Yes, he is. Lanky will surely try and
does
keep
he?
his nose in there. And the same will happen to Kuku happens again. And this time I would say Lanky had definitely had enough space there, he just didn't make the apex. And it's gonna drop him all the way down to P11, as he is ghosting through Akusin. And they are now battling now towards the last corner. Lanky runs the inside line. Akusin tries snacking around the outside. It's a good battle this, and Akusin does move around the outside and holds on to P10. Meanwhile, out in front, Sully, Bobardino, Papdog, all very low on ES. But they have a 3-second gap to Sean behind Bobardino now with a move on Sully into turn 3. And he does reclaim the lead of the race here. Scarby gets past Phantom.
Something I already noticed is that Sully has more rear deck, but Bobardino has more front tire deck. So it's kind of even out. As Papdog has, 10% less.
So Papdog doing a lot better on deck. Yeah, and Papdog has been in dirty air the entire time, which of course helps tires on the F1 game. Well, I say of course, like it makes any sense. It's stupid, but that's how it works. You get less dirty, or you get less wear by having dirty air on the car. And since Papdog has been running P3 the entire time, behind both of them he gets dirty air from 2 cars, while Sully and Bobardino have been swapping P1 and P2. So they get dirty air from 1 car, maximum, and sometimes no dirty air at all. Lanky Nakusin in already. That's a definite 2-stop from those guys. I wonder if there's wing changes or if they are just pitting early.
45 at the highest on the rear.
A wing change for Akusin, and no wing change for Lanky, just an undercut.
The thing for Bobardino is his front to right is at 47, so higher.
What Sully had, sorry?
45 at the rear.
And Papdog at 35?
Has 47 at the front right.
Oh, so Papdog is also quite high then. Same as those guys ahead.
Papdog is at his lowest is 34, the front left, and his highest is 40. So a few percent.
Okay, so Papdog is slightly lower, not by as much as we thought earlier. But certainly an advantage for Papdog then. That can help him, either be more comfortable on the one-stop or be the only one pulling off a one-stop. I think you have to go at least 15 laps on the medium to have a good chance of a one-stop. Bazooka now in the pits as well. You could try and stretch the hards for longer, but it does get sketchy then. The staff is now very close to Marco Phantom, and they both have a lot of EIS though. And Max gets a speeding penalty. Didn't get the car slowed down in time for the pit lane.
And we both saw what tires makes for difference. Just saying Silverstone with Sully nearly getting a puncher and still saving it somehow. So it's going to be close, honestly.
I'm very interested to see for sure what these top 3 are going for strategy-wise. If they can pull off the one-stop or if they go for the two-stop. And what ends up being faster. And Sully is teleporting all over the place, which is, not great news for anyone involved really. Short is now in the pit lane. And Phantom gets a penalty for multiple warnings. Yes, Pix also in and Aussie as well. Double stack. No, not server. Phantom's not in. No double stack for server. Not sure what's waffling.
That's...
And Always in as well, so 2-stopper from Always. And a change of the front wing as well. And Lanky has managed to undercut a lot of these guys. He's not back with Sean, but he is ahead of everybody else.
Lanky and Kuku both have the same pace. 7.9 lap times.
Interesting. Of course, Kuku on 2-lap all the tires. But that isn't that much of a difference really. So Lanky definitely has some strong pace in this race. And both of them, of course, with a bit of a comeback to make. As Sully picks him a 3-second penalty.
Oh, guys.
And that will make his fight for the win a lot more difficult. And guess Gabri's in the pits.
Gabi goes pits.
And that is a two-stop as well. I would say lap 11 is definitely too early. 25 laps on the hard is going to be a massive stretch.
You can, but it's not worth it.
He does go to the hard, and he should come out between Sean and Lanky. As Aussie picks up a penalty.
Never won.
And yeah, Gabri out the pit lane, right behind Sean. So only the top 5 now, who have not made pit stops: Bombardino, Solid, Papdog, Phantom and Staff. Of course, with Bombardino, Sutton, Papdog not responding to Sean's undercut, they are running the risk of Sean undercutting into this fight for the race win. Gabri not far behind either. Same for Lanky. So those three really can't wait much longer. At least if they are also on a two-stop.
Bombardino has 70%.
Oh, so he has to come in, well, next lap. Otherwise he's definitely running a risk of puncture.
Staff is maybe doing the same mistake as in Silverstone. Because his tires are pretty good.
Yeah, he couldn't go for the Oticon Phantom for sure. He has a lot of ES, he's just not doing it.
And he has to choose.
Yeah,
Phantom has 67 on the rear.
He's definitely losing time here, behind him.
Again.
Staff is very passive, it's interesting. He doesn't seem to have much interest in leading the train and, you know, putting some good lap times on the board, always in the fast lap of the race.
As Bombardino breaks the ES from Sully. 1.3.
That could be crucial. As Staff is now finally going for the move on Phantom. And he pulls ahead and Phantom has settled in behind. Akusin and Kuku locked in the battle for P12 here. Kuku's shift is broken something. I keep seeing him hit the rev limiter. Oh, my voice is going. And a yellow flag for Staff. A few corners after he overtakes Phantom, he has a spin. Sully's in the pit lane. Bombardino is still going. How much time does he have by now?
Loads front right 75.
Oh, so he has to pit this lap. He will be playing with fire if he goes another one.
Papdog highest is 64 on the rear, and then the fronts are 57, so it's basically fine.
And Sully has indeed been undercut by Sean and Gabri. Comes out between Gabri and Pix.
Has Gabri caught him to Sean?
Yep, definitely.
Fast.
He's right there. He was hovering at like 1 point something seconds for a while there.
Yeah, Slip was
now he's right with
faster.
him. I think Gabri will waste no time going for the overtake. He wants to be ahead, he wants to lead this train of himself and Sean. Try and get as far away from Sully as possible, as he knows Sully, with that tire advantage, is definitely going to come at them. Bombardino still not pitting. And there is no grip left. His car is...
Look at the front light. It's gone.
Yeah, this is an interesting call to keep going still.
Like the last lap time from Papdog was a second faster. Phantom was 2 seconds fast. Well, off a second faster.
Yeah, big gamble by Bombardino. He really wants this one-stopper. I mean, the two-stopper is a good option around here as well. So if your tire wear is that bad, I think he would have been better off two-stopping.
Right now, he probably would have been 7 P8.
I mean, if you look at the gap to leader, Gabri now is only 13 seconds behind Bombardino, with, I imagine, both having one pit stop to do, and he's gaining rapidly. And of course, the two-stoppers will be gaining for the rest of this race, really. So this could work out quite well for them. As Gabri's now in DAS range to Staff, who's still on the old medium, so he now is going to lose a bit of time here.
What I'm surprised by is the pace of Kuku, like, when he finally pits.
Bombardino is finally into the pit lane, and he got lucky, the tire did last. Phantom is in as well. Staff is still staying out.
Papdog, 74%. He can afford another 2 laps.
Gabri goes for into turn 1. I don't think Staff will have the exit he needs to have a run at him down towards turn 3. And it doesn't look like he wants to defend from Sean either. He lets Sean go. Knows this isn't his race. Doesn't want to cause problems. And doesn't want to risk his own race by causing Tyre with a battle as well. But Sully now has a problem. He needs to get past here as well. And he hasn't got much EIS. And it looks like Staff. He's not going to let Sully go as easily. But he goes really deep. And that could be Sully's chance. And it is Sully's chance. And Sully's ahead.
And, well, there's Bobolini White in the pack and P9. So that's those, basically 18 seconds.
Yeah, he's lost a lot of ground with that long stint. Papdog is in the pits as well now. And he will come out in a similar position, if not even further back.
It's basically 9 seconds to Gabi.
Lanky Brown with a penalty and Staff is in the pits. That's the last one now off the medium onto the hard. And I imagine Papdog, Bobolini and Staff are going to the end. Everybody else on a 2-stopper here.
Then get past Cuckoo before turn 1. Speaking of Cuckoo, I don't know why was he just struggling.
I'm pretty sure that Kuko's wheel has got some issue because every time I'm on board with him, he's just hitting the rev limiter and not shifting up properly.
Shame.
As Bobolini is making progress, he's past Mossy and now past Lanky as well, up into the top 5 already. And of course is the advantage of that super long stint. He's already moved through all of that midfield and now not far behind Pix. And from there it's not far to the top 3 either. I mean, Papdog pinned a lap later and there's now 4 cars between him and Bobolini. Also hounding Lanky for P6 here, who is about to lose DRS to Bobolini down the next straight, I think. He's losing all his auto back into it, and I think he's just about gotten it. Phantom with the fast lap of the race, he's gone for a double medium as well. So he has to go for the hard in the end. True, he joined late, so he didn't have the option to go for a second hard in the tire choice. He has to do medium hard, doesn't have the option of medium hard. Aussie is all over the place there with a big slide next to turn 3, definitely causing a lot of wear to the rear with that. And of course losing time as well, valuable. Papdog and Phantom locked in the metal at turn 4, and that's Phantom who's pulling ahead on the inside line. Gets himself into the points paying positions. Three-second penalty to Akuzin and to his final race time. I believe Aussie has a chance maybe to go take Lanky here. Lanky has a bit more EIS, but Aussie is very close behind him, so it might not even matter. And Aussie will go for the inside line and down towards turn 3. And that gives him the advantage he needs. And he gets up in the 6th position. For a big slant on exit. Lanky might try and come back at him down towards turn 4. He has the DRS. He has a slipstream and he has the outside line. And he is ahead. Lanky back up with the P6. Austin looks for a switchback. But once again with a slide on exit. Costs him the exit speed he needs. But look at how closely he's following through that double left. Where the dirty is at its heaviest. Aussie seems to be able to cope with that quite well. Bobolini is now caught up to Pix. As Phantom gets past Always for P9.
Yeah, well, something I just noticed. Sully has the same tire deck as Bobolini has for the front right, 17%, because Sully has dirty air, Bobolini doesn't. Well, he has for now, but it's not that big of a difference. It was what?
No, 2-lap advantage from Bobolini, and still Sully seems to have Same wear already, that's crazy then. Bobunio has way more wear.
That's the dirty air, basically.
A difference that big, it can't just be dirty air, that's also then the difference in driving. That's Sully just being nicer to the tyre. As Phantom goes for the move on his teammate Aussie. No team orders at Sauber there, Phantom had to go for the dive bomb, and he pulled it off nicely. Perfectly executed, got to the apex for the in control, alongside, well before turning point. A textbook dive bomb overtake by Phantom on his own teammate.
Oh, I know why Pop Dog is throwing ring damage. I was wondering why he isn't getting free wheel, yeah.
Yep, the front left end plate has fallen off that Mercedes. So what was a fight for the race win for a long time looks to turn into a much more difficult job of trying to get some points out of this race still. Currently running 11th, but well, always with a massive moment, and Pop Dog takes advantage, and that gets him into the top 10. As Phantom gets past Lanky, moves up to 6th position.
Sean goes for it on Gabi, and both going deep, and Sean messed up, and Gabi goes through again.
I do wonder if Sully has to pit again, because if he doesn't, he has a good chance of winning this race even with that 3-second penalty. He's got 5 seconds to Boborino, and the tyre wear, I mean, even though on paper Boborino's tyre should be better, we know, thanks to your data, PC Woody, that Sully's tyre management has gotten them back on equal footing already. And that will swing only more in his favour, I imagine, over the course of the stint. So Sully is in a great spot here to win this race, I would say. If he can make that tyre last.
The problem for Sully could be the rear tyres. In the end, because his tyres is 29. But front is all fine.
And Sean is round! Sean has a massive moment next to turn 3. Sully gets collected. I think Sully got away without damage. And that second tap sent Sean into a second swing of oversteer as well. Onto the grass where he fully lost it. He did catch it once more after that. But he lost significant time still. And Gabriel has gotten well clear of both Sully and Sean thanks to all that. And the battles in the midfield continue. Lanky and Bazooka locked in the duel here. Bazooka is pulling ahead after it was already battled down straight with Pop Dog getting past all of them. And Phantom already, yeah, well clear. 2.5 seconds from Phantom to Pop Dog.
It's a medium.
And Sean is in the pits. Quite early. Only 11 left in this hard, so 14 on the second hard. Big undercut from Sean against Gabriel, against Sully. And he will come out in no traffic whatsoever actually, as Lanky, Owise, Akuzin, Max are all in at the same time. It's only Staff who's staying out. And I think Sean is going to come out perfectly ahead of Staff, barely, which was crucial. Sean now has clean air on this fresh tyre to go for a chase and make up some time that he just lost with that half spin at turn 3 to get back in the fight for the race win. And Gabriel into the pits as well now, responding to Sean immediately. Sully staying out. And yeah, which makes sense. Sully has better tyres than both these guys. Well. Pix running in 4th place right now with a great race so far. Now makes his second and final pit stop. We also have Bazooka in the pits. And that leaves only Aussie with a pit stop to make and Phantom, so both Saubers. Sully,
to show
I imagine it's going in the end. The same for Bowling and Pop Dog.
Uh-oh. That's too much for now.
Yeah, Sean has definitely knocked himself out the fight for that race from that mistake, I would say. Gabriel, the only two-stop I think was really... I mean, what's the gap to leader for Gabriel? His gap to Sully is 16 seconds, so he needs to make up over a second lap to the end from here.
If he pits now, he comes behind out Gabi. and he doesn't.
Yeah, so I think Sully, Bombardino, and Papdog are going to the end. So Gabri is essentially P4 right now. Aussie and Phantom have to make it. Well, Phantom has to make a pit stop, and Aussie, that tire is not gonna last. So he will also make a pit
probably
stop.
staying out as well.
I reckon he will try, but I'm not sure it's. Yeah, he's waiting much for a great position here.
He does.
His staff is kind of screwed that way, I think. He's not in the fight for points, really. On merit, anyway. Not a great race for him. He had a great race in Silverstone. I'm surprised that he's so much further down today. And Phantom comes on the pits in P9. Gabri on the back of Aussie already. And he needs to make this move quickly so he can keep chasing after Bombardino and Sully. And not much Aussie can do in this scenario. He's got no ES, a 13-lap tire disadvantage, and Gabri simply sails by. Up next, Papdog, and that will put him into the podium already, and then it's a 10-second gap to Bombardino.
I think he gets it back at overs.
Gabri might go for it into the final corners already. He's not even going to wait for the DRS zones. Gabri sails past Papdog down into the 9th corner. And now gives Papdog DRS on the straight, so I'm not sure it was too great of an idea. Aussie into the pits now.
10 seconds to Sully.
Oh, no, it's 10 seconds to Bombardino. Well, 8.8. Then, what was it to Sully? 13 and a half.
I'm counting down the penalty.
Good point. So yeah, he needs to gain not even a second lap anymore. Not even a second lap anymore. He's gained that much in those last couple laps.
It could work. Just overtake Boldino.
Yeah, I remember it was 16 with 13 laps to go. And I said he needs to gain over a second lap. Now he's at yeah, well, with the penalty 10 with 11 laps to go. So Gabri has a very real chance to win this race.
Yeah, Sully might have a problem at the end.
Yeah, how much tire wear are Sully and Bombardino on? Can you tell me? On the highest tire?
Sully has 48 and Boldino has 47 on the highest. So
I would say they are both in trouble for sure, because they are about halfway through their stints. So they are going to finish, well, at least Bombardino will finish above 80% with the tire wear he has. Sully might be fine.
Well, for Sully it's 2 years.
Yeah, but they're definitely both gonna risk getting into that puncture range of 80% and above. And yeah, once you're in that puncture range,
it's different, right? As he's out of ES again.
But Gabri is gaining at a rate of knots. That gap is already down to just 7 seconds. So
yeah, because it doesn't help that Boldino doesn't have ES. Again, he's out of it.
Which is interesting, because has he battled another car in like 10 laps now? So yeah, Gabri gaining, well, over a second a lap right now to the cars ahead. And that two-stop strategy working out very well for him.
It could be last lap. 6 seconds.
He might get Sully on track on the last lap, but Sully's penalty will cost him for sure. The gap is coming down so quickly, it's insane. We now have Pix on the back of Staff in the battle for 6. Pix with a great race here as well. And I think he can catch Papdog as well, so I think Pix is on for a top 5 finish. There's another penalty to Phantom. And Pix with the slipstream with Diaz. Yeah, sailed past Staff, up in the 6th position. 4 seconds now to Sean, who's got 2 seconds to Papdog. Because Papdog is the one that Pix is chasing. Sean is on very similar tires to him. So that 4-second gap he will not eat into. The 6 seconds of Papdog, certainly. That is, I think, the thing to look out for both Sean and Pix to start chasing after. Well, yeah, for Sean, I imagine the podium could still be on the cards. The gap to Bombardino is fairly big, but especially if Bombardino gets into big trouble at the end, he's gonna have to either slow down quite a lot to manage the tire, or just into, yeah, well, if you're at 80+%, even if the tire doesn't puncture, your lap times certainly will, yeah, worsen quite a bit. Kuku still with horrible race. I mean, the only saving race for him, he doesn't have a penalty, and everybody else ahead of him does. So he might get P8 just based on that, or at least P9. I think it's very close to. Yeah, I think Phantom is too far away for that, but he will get always. So he will get P9. But for a driver like Kuku, P9 isn't what he's aiming for, especially if you consider where he qualified, which well, is a hell of a lot better than 13. Where did he qualify? P4. And right now he's sitting in P13 and he's not even putting much pressure on Aussie ahead. So if anything, yeah, he has to make sure he stays in DRS range here to make actually use of those time penalties. Sean is caught up to Pub Dog. Gary only 2 seconds behind Bombardino now. And the gap to Sully, the gap to leader is 7.5 with 7 laps to go.
I think Sully's gonna make it.
You mean avoid puncture or make it against Gary?
His rear left is at 62 on the time. For Pub Dog, the front right is 58. And the rear tires is basically one corner on the track. That's turn 3.
And Pub Dog fully sideways off turn 3 there. That would of course a bit more tire wear. And Sean, yeah, sailing past him down the straight. Maxi's in the pit lane. Aussie goes for the move from Bazooka. Maxi, is he gonna go for fastest lap attempt here, or what are we doing?
Maybe.
That is a soft tire, yeah, fast lap attempt from Maxi. Get himself a bonus point. Gary almost in DRS range now. To Bombardino, battle for P2 out on track. Definitely on, but that battle is, well, more of a formality. Massive pace advantage for Gary here with these tires, and the two-stop working out insanely well for him. He only needs to gain 2 more or 3 more seconds to Sully in 6 laps to get him on that track limit penalty. Without a track limit penalty, I think this would be, yeah, a very, very interesting finale for sure. But Sully has definitely cost himself that penalty. Seven seconds from Sean to Bombardino. Keep an eye out for that as well. Sean might be able to steal the podium off Bombardino as Gary steals P2 of him out on track. Bombardino tries to get around the outside, but he just is not going to have the grip surely on the exit. Yeah, there we go. Look at how much Gary's already had. 4 or 5 cars lengths by the next corner. Bombardino just can't match the grip on the corner exit.
It's something. Again, stuff is staying behind the cars. It's nursing his tires home.
Well, in this case, it actually makes a lot of sense because Pix is on better tires and he's certainly pulling Staff along rather than holding him up. And yeah, Staff, with that tire management, I mean, he's probably looking to finish this P7.
Yeah.
All the guys behind have got track limit penalties. So if he can just stay in this DRS range to Pix and to Phantom, who I imagine is going to overtake him at some point, and with Phantom having 6 seconds, I don't think he can beat Pix, because that will actually mean having to re-overtake him. And with Pix tire advantage, that is going to be near on impossible. But he should be able to beat Phantom on penalties. He will beat Phantom on penalties. And I mean, maybe with the rate that Pix is gaining on Pub Dog, and I think Staff's going to have better tires than Pub Dog at the end, thanks to all this management is doing right now. There's a chance there as well to beat Pub Dog to the line.
But would you know 66 at the front?
Oh, he's in trouble.
Because happy is all fine.
I mean, if the two stoppers puncture, you have to uninstall, honestly.
True. Sulios, we are 70. Be close.
Well, there is many laps to go for him. That's the only saving grace, but he has to keep it at 2% a lap now to avoid going over 80%.
It's possible.
But once you have that much tire wear in the rear, it's also difficult to avoid more tire wear in the rear, because it creates wheel spin, which creates more wear, which creates more wheel spin, and more wear. It's a never-ending cycle.
And more heat.
Yeah, so once you get into those like high numbers of tire wear, it gets a lot more difficult to manage the tire well as well. At least without slowing down to like an absolute crawl speed. And yeah, at this point Gary is already within penalty range of Sully. And I mean, not to write off Sully's abilities, but Sully will not be getting him back out of that penalty range. And Phantom with a great exit out of turn 4. The Staff's gonna try and defend this. Into the double left-hander. But Phantom moves clean around the outside and Staff can't hold on to the position. Pix is hauled up to Pup Dog. It's a battle for P5 to coming on here. Sean's captured Bombardino now down to 4 seconds. And Gabriel will certainly catch Sully on track as well. Look at the amount of time he's gaining. Sully, Bombardino, Pup Dog.
Pup Dog is fine.
Okay. So Sully and Bombardino have to worry about puncture, you say?
Yeah. Bombardino is at 72 at the front. Wide.
I mean, if you're gonna puncture on the last lap, I'd rather it be a front puncture.
79 for Sully.
79?
It's gonna be Silverstone again.
79!
It's gonna be Silverstone again.
He was 70 like a lap ago. Well, Sully is screwed. As Phantom makes a move on Pix.
Like I said, it's possible, but don't kill your tires.
Well, now he has to get lucky. He will go above 80 no matter what.
Yeah.
So now it's pure RNG if that tire makes the end or not.
It's Silverstone again.
So yeah, you can kiss the raceman goodbye. Even with even if he didn't have that penalty. There's no way he can hold on against Garbry. I mean, look at how much Garbry is gaining under braking even. As Lacken gets another penalty. And yeah, Sully. I mean, he's losing the overtake. Oh, and he's off. Sully's punctured.
Yeah.
Sully gets hit with the rear left puncture in the middle of the straight and goes off and is stuck in the gravel as well. The car's barely moving.
Like I said.
And that could be a DNF for Sully because he is gonna just about
he's moving.
Get his way out of the gravel, but there's no points for Sully here. There will be no points for this as Phantom makes the move in Pup Dog. And yeah, I mean, the car is barely moving at this point. And that's the problem with the rear puncture.
Over 100% the rear soaked.
Yeah, that's the problem with the rear puncture, it's over. You're not gonna get that car back to the pit lane even without being lapped.
Yeah. Push too hard. Boldino is at 78. For Boldino, it could be like last season in Austria, reverse.
The thing for him is that he's gonna have a front puncture, and that isn't nearly as bad as a rear puncture.
As Sean gets close. 2 seconds.
So Phantom's gonna finish 4th on track, and with that penalty he'll drop behind Pup Dog, Pix, and Staff, and maybe an Overwise there. Yeah. Sully's off again at turn 4. Sully's about to be lapped by Garbry.
Oh.
It's worth mentioning, Pix not the move on Garbry, passed Sully heading to turn 3, and he's going to lap him coming out of turn 4. Sully has done 2 corners in the time that Garbry's done the whole lap here. And that is yeah, a nightmare for Sully.
Falling back.
Pup Dog goes really deep and Staff slips through up into P6.
Staff could get P4?
Nah, he won't get back to Pix, surely.
It's like sense.
Yeah, his tire's too far gone, he can't. He won't go taking Pix. But heading into the last lap, it's going to be Garbry, who wins for the 2nd time this season and extends his lead in the championship massively.
As Sean called Bobbardino.
Yeah, we've got a battle for P2 heating on. Of course, Bobbardino in puncture range.
Last lap 81.
Also in puncture range and locked in the battle over P2.
Last lap.
Oh god. That would be quite something, man. And he's got no EAS whatsoever as well. I'm pretty sure Sean is going to be able to make the move down towards turn 4.
Gonna fight it.
Or maybe not. Sean with a big moment. And that could be the thing Bobbardino needs to hold on here. Sean is burning everything he has and he goes for the outside line. And with the massive tire advantage he has, can he go clean around the outside? Bobbardino, really aggressive, dives in for the inside line and gets ahead. Sully retires in the pit lane now. And Sean hasn't been able to get past. Bobbardino holds on the P2, but will he keep that for the line as well? We've got Garbry coming to the last 2 corners, so we're going to give him his moment in the sun as he comes to the last 2 corners, and he's going to win the Austrian Grand Prix with a great strategy, making that 2-stop work to perfection. And he weaves across the line to celebrate. What a race win by Gabri. Going back to the fight for P2, Bobonio is just about going to hold on to P2. It looks like, yes, with the tires completely short, Bobonio brings home P2 this time, unlike last season. Sean Moore in P3. Phantom finishes in 4th on track, but drops behind Pix, who finishes in a amazing 4th place. Staff in 5th. What a tire management that was. I was convinced they finished out the points with that strategy he was on. Pub Dog brings the cow in P6th, and Phantom with the penalties in 7th. Always in 8th, Kuko gets at least 2 points in 9th, Bazooka rank on top 10, Lanky in 11th, and Ossi with Akuzin in 13th, Maxi a lap down in 14th. Fast lap of the race is going to go to Maxi, it looks like, unless Akuzin can beat it this lap. So at least 1 bonus point for him, for McLaren. And Akuzin over the line, gets fast lap at the end, no bonus point for Maxi.
Yeah. That was quite something.
It was a good race. Yeah, it was good fun. Quite a thrilling finale with all the drivers close to puncture range. And here we are on the podium. Gabri, for the 2nd time in 3 races, gets that win, gets the trophy, and he's now at already 60 points after just 3 races. So an average of 20 points a race right now. In absolutely electric form. His closest competitor is Sean, who has finished P2 out the points and P2 again. So on 36 points. So already a 24-point gap at the front of the standings between Gabri and Sean. So almost 1 race win. Here we have the full results again. Gabri bumping into Sean on the podium, then Pix with one hell of a race, starting 14, finishing 4th, Staff starting 13, finishing 5th. Then Pubdog, Phantom, Always, Kuko, Bazooka. Lanky, Ossi, Akuzin the fast lap gets a point for that, with Maxine 14th and Sonny having, well, he is classified in 15th as being 3 laps down, but he did DNF in the pit lane after that puncture. Yeah. Anything left to say from your side?
Actually, no. Just honestly, I'm just surprised that the tires didn't hold on. Well, I guess for Sully it was being at the front.
Yeah, not having the dirty air, I think, caused too much tire wear.
But on the rears, that's the thing. Like, I barely see a rear puncture. Because normally Austria is a front tire deck.
Yeah, because of all the high-speed corners, I think.
That's the thing.
There isn't much
is basically turn 3 and maybe
zones.
turn 4. So I'm just surprised.
Yeah, but very, very unfortunate for Sonny. I mean, he's only a reserve, but so I'm sure he still would have liked to get that P2 home. But it's not like he's lost any points in the championship fight, really. Because he's not in a championship fight. He doesn't really care much about the points, I imagine. Yeah, I have nothing more to say. I think you can probably hear it. My voice is getting worse and worse. So I'd like to wrap this up quite quickly, actually, and get to bed. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you to the drivers for putting on a good show once again. Got one more race in Austria this week, the Division 1 race on Saturday at 7:30 PM UK, as always. And next week we're going to Baku, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. That should be an absolute thriller, I think. I'm very excited for that one. On the streets of Baku. Could be some chaos for sure. So be sure to tune in for that one as well. Hope you enjoyed the race and hope you have a good evening. Goodbye.
See you.